All right, all right. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we are going to get to it. Man, there's so much, I've been learning. Like, I've just been really putting this information together. And it's something. It's just something, the things that you start to really pick up on. I appreciate everybody for being here this morning. The time right now is 5:16 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. And as always, I pray that everything is good with you. I see you all out there in the audience from YouTube to Instagram. Thank you so much. Let me see something here. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to pull this video up. Now, of course, as always, before we do, let's go ahead and get ourselves warmed up. This right here, I believe, is going to be a very interesting show. I'm going to go ahead and cam up for you guys in a moment, okay? So just give me 1 second and let's go ahead and do this. Let's just go ahead and travel in our minds. Let's woos up. Okay. You all just give me one moment. I'm going to be cammed up with you in a second here. Don't worry, don't worry. I'll go ahead and pull my ugly face up so y'all can feel better about yourselves. Oh, man. So, yeah, what we're going to do is, let me go ahead and set this ensemble back. We're going to talk about being a stepdad. Yeah, we're going to talk about stepfathers. Okay. So I'm just letting you know what it's about. If anybody wants to roll out, you don't want to hear about it, that's all right. But that's what I'm going to be speaking about this morning, just so you know. So you already got a good feel. So anybody want to stick around, stick around. Anybody want to find something else to watch, you already know what you can do. But that's what I'm going to be speaking about today. All right, y'all. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Let me grab something. Let me grab one thing. My bad. Okay. Ah, boy. Okay. So I see it's just me this morning. I actually like it that way. I don't know. I just feel like I get a chance to really focus on what it is I'm talking about. So I always appreciate less numbers, it's less distractions. You guys can just catch it later. That's why I like to sneak up in here. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, y'all. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Now let's go ahead and get to it. I'm just, me. I'm honestly, oh boy, I'm just usually not always all the way complete and ready. That's all that is. I've just been trying to make sure I got myself all the way good here. That's all that is. All right, everybody. Okay. Oh. It snowed heavily, and I still got to go to work. I got to actually leave this house and go to work. I'm still trying to get used to that right there. Like actually leaving out, going to work. Like that shit is blowing my mind right now. It's blowing my mind. All right, let's go ahead and talk about this. I'm gonna go ahead and get this video started. Let me see. I got a few hours. Got a few hours before I gotta leave out. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and put this video up. I already knew I knew it was gonna do that shit. I knew that was happening. All right, and go to another one. Okay, and boom. All right, let's go to this video finally. Oh boy. What's going on? So let's talk about this, being a stepfather. There we go. Got to make sure I keep that music down. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Share screen. Bow. Bow. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Okay. Now, of course, before we do, we have to take a very, very brief, quick commercial break. And this commercial break, which one am I going to do? Hey, we're going to do this one right here. This commercial break is brought to you by Just Moments and Times to Think About.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We all want the reward without the sacrifice. We crave success without effort, growth without discomfort, wisdom without experience. But everything has a cost. Social media isn't free. It costs you your focus. The club isn't just $100. It's the price of wasting tomorrow. So the question is, are you willing to pay the price for discipline? Are you willing to pay the price for success? You want those traits, then the price is going to be your time. That reframe gives you the power to go through your struggles. Because your time's gonna pass regardless. The clock never stops ticking. So you have to remember to pick your poison. Otherwise, life is gonna pick it for you. You either pay the price now or you pay it later with regret.
Okay. You know what? I'm glad that I played that. I do believe that was a very, very good segue into what it is. No, I'm good. Thank you. No, thank you. Yo, it's crazy how people are just very disrespectful. It's crazy. That's what you think to say? It's crazy. People need to cut that out. But let's stay focused here. It's always going to be something that's going to try to distract you. That's how I always know I'm like on the right track, man. It's you know, it's like it just be the most craziest of things that just pop up in your face, and you be like, why is this popping up? You know. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to this video. Let's do this. All right. So they're gonna, you know, basically talking about being a stepdad. Shout out to TK Kirkland. I don't know who this sister is. I told you I don't know people like that. But I'm gonna learn her name, and so please forgive me. Let me see if I can see her name. Is her name on here? Hold on. I don't even see the woman's name. All right, so I'll figure it out. I just want to make sure I shout my sister out too. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and do this. I got a little bit of time before I got to go to work in a bit. So this still is blowing my mind that I'm going to work. Can't get over that. That's weird to me. Talking about considering what's happened in my life. That's all. Always work now. Don't nobody get that twisted. Since the age of 13 and 9 months, I've had a job. All right, y'all, let's get it.
Psychological torture to raise another man's kid.
Torture.
It's torture.
Why?
Because you.
Wow. Out the gate, we are starting off with negative connotations of stepdads. You know that shirt that says, I'm not the stepfather, I'm the father who stepped up. Right now, me personally, I deal with a woman that has a kid, so, but it's a lot of different factors that come into this whole thing. It's a lot of different factors that come into play. It's not as like clear, clean cut, black and white, and there's also some other factors I'm going to tap in and point out too that people generally do not talk about when it comes to this. Like, it's so many different areas that people just don't never mention when it comes to stepfatherhood, I guess you could say. But let's go.
You're pretending to be something that you're not. You're raising a child that doesn't belong to you. That's rough. I don't care what nobody say. Now it gets done, and thank God we do have men who will do that, but psychologically is detrimental to your health.
What about when you have, if you're with a woman and she does have a child, but the father is active and is there?
Sure, you can handle it. It's still uncomfortable.
Okay.
You're pulling up in the car, they come to the door, she's really nice to him. No, he don't pay child support. He don't do.
I told y'all it's gonna be one of those, right? So one, it all depends on what those two both want. People don't take time to think about, you have circumstances where, and I speak about this before, right? Man can be sterile. That man probably wants kids. Now he might say, you know what? I actually don't mind. He might actually look for a woman who has children already that he can help be a part of in their lives. And I mean in an honest, genuine way. I don't mean that creep shit. But like genuinely, like he wants a family dynamic. Maybe he had an accident back in the day. He can't have kids. There are circumstances like that. You have guys who actually will look to get with the woman for that reason. I got so many different examples I'm about to go through with this. So let's go ahead and get back to it. I thank you all for tuning in. The time this morning is 5:30 on the nose a.m. East Coast Standard Time. The date is 12/12/25. And I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thank you. Let's keep going.
Do nothing.
No, he pays child support.
I'm just saying, if he does, I'm creating my scenario.
Oh, okay.
And he's in the living room watching TV. She here. Okay, bye. Return the kids. Coming back. Okay, bye. You know, it still hurt, but you have to be so mature. My thing is, why put yourself through that?
I agree.
That's where I'm at. Why do that to yourself? Why make yourself uncomfortable?
Did you know that when you were 30?
I'm not sure. That was a long time ago. Yeah, that's
So it's
32
it's
years
more
ago.
of a new revelation.
No, I don't know. I've always thought like this since I was a youngster.
Okay.
Yeah. So my way of thinking has always been on another level. But
Hey, Meta, play my guy.
Okay.
so that's pretty cool.
So and if that's the game to the women, so should the men also be mindful of not having children?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They should. But even though I've probably hurt a lot of women's feelings on the baby
Mhm.
thing, so let me give you the game on how to win.
Mhm.
The solution. See, the solution is when you have babies from another man, one, you still go out and have sex, still have a good time. Take care of your body. Make sure you look good because men are visuals. So
You know, I actually wonder. If he's married, like actively, or if he's like, another one of the celebrities, got multiple kids, multiple women, and his kids do love him. He's had his rough time stories, but he's there type. I wonder what his circumstances. I haven't looked it up. I don't look into these people,
So if you out here fat, you're not taking care of your body, the chances of you getting a nigga is gonna be slim. Then I have this thing in my head called what is it? Reborn.
Okay.
Reborn is after you get all your kids out of the house, and then you can start dating again because the new guy that you're dating doesn't feel responsible that he got to carry other children mentally, spiritually, and financially. So he'll date you because all the kids are out the house. Yeah, we could date, we have a good time. Because I ain't got to worry about your kids, and that's just my thing. But women have to take care of themselves physically and mentally, and try not to have a man's baby until you're in your late 30s, early.
Fellas, take care of yourself mentally and physically as well. Fellas, always keep in mind. Always keep in mind. Be more concerned about taking care of your mental health before you ever try to help fix somebody else's, right? And even if you know that yours is intact, be mindful of that, because certain circumstances in life can wound up burning you out. It can wound up throwing you over the edge, and now you don't feel comfortable. You're at a place where you have a hard time trusting. You're at a place where your patience is worn thin. Now here it is. It's a wonderful woman that's right there. You had no clue. She was literally right there the whole time. I had no clue. It's again, these are all circumstances that come with these type of. Well, let's keep on going.
40s. This is just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen women, and I try to date women who got kids. Man, it's rough. Because when you know what you know, you're like, oh, I like her. But damn, I don't feel like putting up with nobody's kids. It's exhausting. I gotta go to Toys R Us to prove that I like your fucking
Toys R Us
kid.
ain't even around no more.
I'm just saying, I gotta do all these extra things. Put your kid in the car seat. I go to Disneyland and shit and all that if I like you.
What if you have a blended family? Does that work?
What do you mean by
Well, also, I don't know. She's like, excuse me. Also, that's why men need to make sure they have certain standards set as well. Me personally, if I deal with somebody who has a younger kid, that has to be something where all the pressure is not put directly on me if we're not married. and if that kid's father's in their life. That's another thing too. I'm very, very huge on step aside if that kid has their dad. Don't try to come in and, because you want to make sure that she don't have no contact with that kid's actual father, you want to make sure that you keep them from speaking. That's not cool. That's not where it's at either. But my thing is standards. Like, so me, typically, generally speaking, my rule of thumb is if you do have a kid or, one, no more than two. Because and I'm only saying that because I only have one myself. I don't have but one kid. I don't have children. I have a child. That's it. I'm a father of one. So it's not fair to me to go into a circumstance and you got like 3 or 4. That wouldn't be fair to my daughter. 1, 2 at max. Cool. No problem. And even then, generally my requirement is they got to be older. They got to be able to so all of that like car seat stuff. And that's another thing. Like, your kid is in a car seat and you're dating. Bro, you might want to take time to think about what kind of woman did you pick. First of all, forget the kid in the car seat. You're dating a woman who has a kid in the car seat. You see? So there's so many different things that can be wrong here. And so many things that could be right here. It's all about how you look at this. I thank you all for tuning in once again. The time right now was 5:37 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. And just in case, I love when I receive it. And so this is for you as well. I always, always appreciate you. Please trust and believe that. Let's keep going.
Blended.
Like either y'all both come with a child or two.
Still difficult. Yep.
Oh,
all of it's difficult. I think when people do that too, they love each other, but majority of the time financially not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And all you got to do is just one time do one wrong thing, right? You got 2 or 3 kids and then you bring one kid a gift. Then she gets on the phone with her mother and she's like, oh, he just bought TT one gift. We got all these other kids in here, I know.
Well, first of all, again, I don't understand. Like, I would think that, I don't know. To me, it's just like communication should be the overriding factor. You don't even go through that. Whenever something's being bought, generally, whatever, us as the adults, we usually, like, we both already know what's being spent, what's happening, what's taking place. Most men, and if you don't know, I'll go ahead and reiterate it for you, fellas. Even when having multiple wives, the rules, they're actually rules. It's not just, oh, I got a bunch of freaks. No. When you have multiple wives, you're supposed to be able to equally take care of, you're supposed to be able to take care of each wife equally. I can't buy one wife a Honda and buy the other one a Benz. They all have to get a Benz. If you have a circumstance and a dynamic that is worked out, such as this right here, like, more than likely, you already know, if I'm taking care of this kid or I'm coming into this situation knowing I not only took on that woman, I'm taking on her children as well. This is age old, fellas. We know this. We know that them kids come with that woman. Why is that even still an argument? I can tell you right now, the reason why it is simply because communication is not being had at its adequate state. You're not having sufficient communication. All I heard right there, honestly, because I'm thinking about the scenario, and the first thing comes to my mind is what wasn't talked about. Simple conversation. I'm serious, y'all. Simple discussion saves so much. Simple discussion. But both parties have to know how to do that adequately with one another, because everybody doesn't communicate the same, even with words.
Nobody got time for that shit. I got time.
That's fair. I mean, I don't know how much you're ever in comments, but like in the comments, people or men are often saying,
My thing is don't cherry pick stories. There are plenty of successful step-parent relationship. And look, that's the thing. I was kind of saying the same thing, Sugar Bomb, honestly. As far as you have certain circumstances where, I don't know if you heard me say this earlier, but I was saying how there are dudes who can't have kids. They actually look for a woman who has children, and I'm talking about in a genuine, loving way. They want a family dynamic. They actually like the fact that you got like 2 or 3 and they can be a part of those kids' lives. Like, they can actually have times where them and maybe 1 or 2 of the kids coming in the door, you and the other one in the house, food being cooked. And even though those kids aren't his, he wants that dynamic. That's what he wants. Again, like I said, my standard is like 1 to 2. Because I'm a father of 1. I only have 1 kid. So it's not fair to me to be with a woman. I got like 4 kids. That's not fair to me or my kid. So you got so many different dynamics that come with this. But let's get on back to it. But nah, you're right though. I mean, listen, don't we know that with everything out here, the talk about relationships is always the most horrible. You be there. you one of the main ones making it horrible. Or pulling the damn chapters. But we love you daily, fam. You know that. We all know what's love. I'm the main one that advocate for you. And these niggas be getting upset, not understanding who Sugar Bum is. So let's keep on going.
To women that, don't be in the streets having a whole bunch of kids,
do not be having them babies. And to scare women so they can really understand what I mean, go a little deeper. A lot of people don't talk about when you get pregnant, that giving birth, you can die.
Absolutely.
You better love a nigga when you have his baby.
And fellas, you put your seed inside that woman, you better love that woman. We know that she could pass away on the table. Love that woman as well. You don't know if that's going to be her last time.
That ain't a game. Like, you truly gotta love them. Like, to be up there and you could die. And I've only seen it happen once in my life. A lady in Orlando, she was a radio personality. She got pregnant and had the baby and passed away. Never got a chance to see a kid. So, people need to know.
I actually know someone that happened to.
Mm-hmm.
She passed away. One of my close friends, one of her good friends.
Right.
Rest in peace to all of these people, and condolences to all of the families. And may those children live healthy, vibrant lives. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's rough.
What's her name? Judge. She's a black judge. She has short hair. Not Maybelline.
I was just about to say, is it Maybelline or Hatchet? Might be Judge Hatchet.
It's another one, but her daughter died.
She might be talking about Judge Hatchet. Maybe. Yeah, because it's Maybelline. I know. I remember her dark skin one. She was the main one. Then the Judge Hatchet.
In childbirth. And so like they have like a whole campaign with the husband and his in-laws on, TK, so have you heard about this guy maybe like a month ago or 3 or 4 weeks ago, I guess? He was on Instagram or whatever, some social media site, saying that he has 7 kids.
It will go to commercial right when he said he has 7. Ain't that something? Isn't that like a nail biter? Isn't that a nail biter? Let's get back to the show.
These children that, he had these children.
Hold on.
Or whatever, some social media site saying that he has 7 kids.
Here we go.
And he did not want to take care of them. And he told all the women with whom he had these children that, I told you I wasn't gonna have these kids, but I didn't want.
I know she not talking about hip. I know she not talking about hip. That's shout out to the brother House of Hip, man. Shout out to the brother House of Hip. That sound like she talking about hip. I think she talking. Man, that's the number of kids, the story behind it. That sound just like that, man. Now that's funny. Talk about small worlds. Now that's funny. Let's go.
20 kids, yet he still skeeted in them and then had children.
Right.
What do you think about women and how
Yeah, that's what she talking about. That's funny though, man. Again, shout out to the brother, man. Shout out to the brother.
they move as far as listening to what a man says versus watching what he does?
Every day. He might send you some flowers. He might take you out to eat, but you didn't watch his character. So now you got a baby. Now he's behind the 8 ball, and now he's showing you who he really is, right? And I hate men who are coming to woman knowing that she could get pregnant, and then say what happened when she tells you, "Oh, I'm pregnant." He's like, "How the fuck did that happen?" Well, duh. So I do this stuff on my podcast, and it drives me crazy. But
I can't stand that numbskull stuff too. Or as some would call it, doodoo heads. Can't stand the doodoo head mentality. That is a bum nigga mentality. Period. It makes us look bad. You know exactly what happens when you have sex. Don't you try to hit her with the ahoy doy goofy shit now. You know what happens, bro. We all know what can take place. I ain't gonna lie. I'm one of them. Generally, when I'm finished, I be laying there thinking and shit. Like, I might look over at her like she just laying there with her back to me or something, just laying there. I'm just like, well, I know what I just did. If it pops up, I know what I gotta do. And that's take care of it. If she chooses that, I can't make her or tell her this. We don't operate that way. But I know what it is that I just did, and I'm not gonna sit up there and be acting all shocked. Like, if I ever was to, me knowing I'm being intimate with this woman, I know we're intimate, right? If she hit me one day and it's like I'm pregnant, the number one thing that will go through my mind is, of course, I'm going to be wondering. I mean, it is me, right? But if you're with that woman regular, you should know. Like, when I got the mother of my child pregnant, when she said she was pregnant, I shit you not, there was absolutely zero thought of it being mine or not. We didn't have that kind of relationship where it was thoughts about that. So when my baby was on her way, I knew that was me. Sure enough, when I picked her up, I saw the ears. I already knew. Had me and her grandmother's ears. So those are trademarks in the family. Actually, from granddad. Let's go from granddad down. So yeah, definitely. But let's go ahead and get back to this video. Let's listen to what we got. This is real dope. This is a cool conversation. I appreciate you all for being here. The time right now is 5:50 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. Respect to you all.
choices that these young men make.
So, and I guess and we've talked about this before. I think Rico brought this up. So when women are dealing with men, should they be listening to what the man is saying? Like, hey, no.
They listen too much because how you ladies get caught up.
So
women listen to words, and if a guy is real elegant with his conversation, you done. Next thing you know, your knees is behind your chin. You're screaming to the top of your lungs and shit. And if the dick is good, you like, I love it.
Yeah. You know, sometimes It don't take all that. Sometimes I swear it's crazy, especially if a woman feels as if she's been deprived of like maybe that romantic side and things of that nature. Man, it don't take much. It don't take much. It don't. Women will have you think it takes a whole lot. No, if you know how to move and conduct yourself in the proper manner, you're not gonna have no issues. That's why I don't get dudes being so angry at women all the time. You shouldn't have no problems. If you know how to move and conduct yourself right, it's not that difficult. They want to be loved. They want to be held. Don't let them fool you and none of that bull they talking about. It's just up to whether or not you're the one that they want. Period. If they don't want you, they don't want you. And that's just what that comes down to. Now, that's up to you as a man to know how to handle yourself in them circumstances. You should know what to do, because you should know that there is somebody for everybody out here. You have to not go around so damn bitter and angry, because then you'll run off the person that actually wants to get close to you, dummy.
Love you. Next thing, bam. You up have a slice of pizzas. You're eating.
Always remember, be inviting. Be somebody that she may feel like, you know what, I can talk to you and tell you things. Don't be standoffish. Don't be acting like you too damn cool all the time. And don't be all open and green. Don't be no open book as well. Nobody reads a whole book every single page at one time. Not even speed readers. They still are reading word for word, line for line. They just may read it faster. The fact is, a book has to be opened and turned page by page. And that's exactly how your life should be to people. Don't just turn to the middle of your book. Make everybody start from the introduction of who you are. Because you are the author of your story. Let's keep on going.
Ices, Now you let the nigga move in. He's like, hey, you want to move in? And bam. There you go. They take 3 years to get the nigga out.
Oh God. Cause I always feel like when, I'm talking to like my little younger cousins or even Mandy on the show, I always say
fair use, fair use, fair use. YouTube, this is for educational purposes as well as entertainment for the early morning for those who just might be up. And absolutely.
You watch what people do. I don't care what nobody says. Don't matter.
True.
You watch their actions. But my other co-host says, no, you listen to what they say.
Yeah, I think it's both. It's a fine line. You have to do both. You have to listen to what they say. And I always say demonstration is better than conversation. Yeah, that's how I move. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Let me write that down.
Don't be stealing my stuff.
I'm a 100% use it.
Fine line. You have to do both. You have to listen to what they say. And I always say demonstration is better than conversation. Yeah, that's how I move. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Let me write that down.
Don't be stealing my stuff.
Absolutely. You don't. In respect to you, salute. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, you don't just bust out and just be telling everybody everything about you right off the rip. You want to know why? Because you don't even know if that person can handle who you are. Why are you giving somebody who you don't know? You don't know. Can they take all of what you consist of? I had to learn that. I actually possibly ran off good prospects simply in the past, that is, simply because I just gave too much about my life because I was so eager. Watch this, right? I was so pressed to be honest. I was like super, because I hate being lied to. I can't stand that. I can't stand when you're asking direct questions and they just keep making you think you dumb. I hate that. It's playing with your intelligence. So I would sit here and I say to myself, why am I telling somebody who can't take all of who I am, everything about me? Why am I doing that? I don't know. And then you get to telling people about yourself because you just want them to know who you are. Nah, man, work yourself into that. You know what comes with a person learning who you are? Just time spent. I don't know why people listen. I'm telling y'all now, that's the one thing you're going to keep hearing me say. Because a lot of times, a lot of this stuff that we be talking about with this relationship stuff, a lot of times, not always, We usually be talking about things from a very one-sided perspective of it. Like, so serious, man. It's like we be just like on this, like, it's it's like we have to understand everything is not black and white. Everything is not just a yes or no answer. Some things do have context to it. Some things do have a nuance. And but I want to get back to what he said right here, because I say this all the time as well. I want us to focus on what she's writing down. And let's get back to that part.
A fine line. You have to do both. You have to listen to what they say. And I always say demonstration is better than conversation.
Right there. Demonstration is best. So again, listen to what he just said right there. Demonstration is better than conversation. What does that mean? No matter who you are, the best of you will always be during those moments of time spent. Sometimes, look, it's things that you'll learn about that person. You don't even have to ask. You don't have to ask. You just around them enough. You learn just from being around them. Aren't there, think about maybe at your job or something you've learned with your job or whatever hobby, passion you have. You ever notice how you learn little different tricks and stuff and nobody told you? You just went in there every day, or you just kept going back to your lab or your station and you just kept doing it. I can tell you right now, it's a couple things throughout this whole YouTube thing. I have picked up quite a few little loopholes on. I picked up, okay, this is an easier, quicker way to get, all I got to do is just, because I kept going back at it. When I was having the hardest time with all this technology stuff, when I didn't stay consistent with it. Like literally me at this computer station, and I'm using this as an example because for me, this was such a huge hurdle. Again, all of this pulling up, this was magic to me. I'm now the magician. I kept going I kept doing it. Again, don't have nothing to do with cloud, internet. I want to get good at something. I don't want to be half-assed. If I say I'm going to do this content creating thing, I want to give it every bit of what I got. And so guess what? If anybody peeps and notice my show enough, I'm pretty sure there's some things people have noticed. You know what? Smitty's growing. Because I keep doing it. It's directly in your face. I keep coming back at it. I get better. You keep going at it, you get better. The more time spent, the better you both are at knowing each other. There's no way around it. I keep hearing stories about the most horrible things people have to say, then come to find out they was only talking about 8 or 9 months. I ain't talking about like hands being put on, stealing and cursing out, cheating. I'm talking about just like the typical annoying things that come with getting to know a person. Don't nobody be really having no track record of time spent. I don't never really hear like, yeah, I really gave it all I had for 5 whole years or something. Now that's different. Heck, I'll even say about a good 3. I'll say about a good 3 years is enough time to see if something should be going somewhere. But like all of this, like 6, 8 months, a year, it's not no time spent. That's like you still in the introduction of that person's book. This is hundreds and hundreds of pages of a novel. You ain't reached chapter 1. You're still literally in the introduction. You have not even hit chapter 1 yet. You don't know if the story's good. You don't know if it's a good read for you. You don't know that yet. My whole thing is that I hear a lot of conclusions made and I just be assessed. I really sit back and I listen. And that's why I ask key questions. How long you all been together? How much was the communication had? Did you all have the tough talks in the beginning? And generally, the 2, if not all 3 of those things do not align. And then right then and there, I'm like, okay, bet I got my answer. Not enough time was spent. You have to be with and around that person. You have to be. There's no way around that. 2 cannot become 1 if they don't do this. You have to do this, right? two become one. They have to connect. Remember that. Let's get back to it. I digress. My mic is muted. That's generally us around the board. We much rather, because even us, even ladies, knowing that we're more simple. If you see, when you learn men, you have a much better time dealing with us. You don't get so frustrated at the things that take place, because you know how men generally, you would know men usually like to show you things better than tell you. Because ladies, you all are the ones that like to talk. We love to talk to you and with you. Oh, we love it. So joy. As a matter of fact, we rather talk to you than our homies a lot of times, depending on what it is. We rather just sit and chat with our woman. We don't want to talk to everybody else. But y'all have to remember as well, when it comes down to things, whatever it may be, where we move more so in the action sense. And, we do have a lot of different dynamics nowadays with things, a lot of times being like long distance, so on and so forth, right? Yeah. With that being the case, that's why I speak about time spent in person. We do have a lot of dynamics where people also speak about relationships that didn't go well and they were states away. You see? It's so many. See, dating is not what it used to be from what we knew growing up. So everything is switched and flipped and turned and rolled over, right? And so it's really just all about keeping up with the times. But that is much, much so true. Men much rather show you as opposed to tell you any day of the week. Seriously. We'd rather just like, yo, I don't want to talk about how good I can love you. Just let that time be spent and let the magic work. That's how that go. Let's get it. For this is, yes, people. Yes, absolutely. This is the week of love. This is the week of love, okay? And just in case no one gave it to you, here you go. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, that's how I move. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Let me write that down.
Don't be stealing my stuff.
I'm a 100% use it.
No, don't use it, sis. Just remember that. That's how we operate. We operate through action. We operate through what we do. We can give you wonderful words. We can put up the memes that you like to look at and stuff. Oh my gosh, she's so romantic and thoughtful. This is what I be thinking. We can do that. But a man that's truly about action is not concerned about saying things to make you feel good more so than doing things to make you feel good. And we'll throw in the fluffy words in addition. But our main objective is to actually in real time keep that smile on your face. At least a man who's attentive and a man who is courting and of acknowledgement. Why? Because everything that he's given you, he does want back himself as well. He wants to reciprocate that. See, he's investing. Don't forget that it is an investment. Yes, we do want something back. What do we want back? You. Just you and what you can offer. And we know that what you have to offer will be what you have to offer. We know that you are a human just like we are. We know this. We're not going to put that much pressure on you. At least a man shouldn't. You shouldn't have that much pressure. Just come into the situation pleasant and open-minded, open to learn that man and open to allow that man to learn you. People make relationships so difficult nowadays, and it really doesn't have to be. Like, I really be sitting back and I be like, yo, it ain't even gotta be hard. Like, it's not difficult, yo. I make a clear conscious decision. Hey, I want to learn to love you. You have to also have that set in you as well. I made a clear conscious decision. I want to learn to love you. All right, you made a decision. Yep, I made a decision. Okay, cool. So now that we're together, Let's not put no pressure on each other about these things. Let's keep up with one another. Let's keep each other going, like encourage, right? But no pressure. Because I'm saying to myself, I'm ready to spend the rest of my days with you. So there's no pressure on time of this and that. I don't plan on going nowhere. Let's just let time go by. You know, it's like being at work or school. You know what I've noticed? You know, a trick I learned? Don't look at the clock. Helps the day go by. Keep staring at the clock every 2 minutes. It's like it don't move. And that's how it is. I look at, like, when you're coming into relationships, when people try to nitpick at things too much and keep, you know, this should be this already, right now, right here, right now. Why aren't we here? Why aren't we that? All of the influences from everywhere else online got you thinking that that's what you're supposed to be. You don't even realize you're in a total separate, unique circumstance, just you and just that person. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. It don't matter what's online. It don't matter what somebody's telling you. It don't matter, none of that. What should matter is what you and that person have going on and what you all see within each other. And you will only be able to see that throughout time. Let's keep going.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I was saying that people should travel. The same way we teach our kids to go to school or play sports is the same way we got to teach them how to be a man and how to date as a youngster. Hey, son, put your money away. You're going to have a girlfriend one day.
Right.
Teach him how to stack his money. Teach him how to open the door. Teach him about everything that is able to survive.
You know what? Speaking about that, put your money away. You know, unfortunately nowadays, and I mean people, period. What's the number one thing we tell people to get nowadays? And we all know what that is, right? Money. We're continuously telling people to chase the bag. Hey, watch this. I'll tell you a little secret that I done found out. I'm just going to tell you it works for me. I don't know if it'll work for you. All right. But you know what worked for me? The day that I started chasing the bag kept running. The day that I stopped chasing the bag and I chased me and my purpose, opportunities of money along with everything else in life that I desire just keeps coming my way. May not be a continuous but it continuously keeps coming through. I'm never without. Because I continuously chase my purpose, God, the angels, the universe, however you want to put it, always make sure that I'm good. I don't want for nothing. Why you think, like I said before, I'm going to say it again. I'm a whole dude that was ran over by a train. I lost my job originally. Even now, I'm only doing I'm just working 2 days a week. It's just something to keep my mind going. It ain't even about the money. It's just so I have somewhere to go to be healthy in my mind. I can't be in the house all the time. It's really just to get out the house for real and to keep my mind active and to have something to do to feel accomplished for the day. Not to mention I'm learning a new skill. But like, I've always peeped how the more I chased me, the more everything else just comes right with it. When you chase your purpose and then you come up and then you have this like undeniable gift, people come to you with opportunities. You get hired. People want you to make and design and create things for them. Money comes your way. Chase your purpose. The bag chases you. People keep running around here chasing the bag. I'm not saying don't go get money. I'm not saying that. You need that. Listen, I promise you, what I got going on around here, I have to have money to keep this up and running. These lights are not free. I have to have a nice amount of money to keep things running in this home. So I get that. That's the thing with me. That's like without saying. It's like me trying to remind you to brush your teeth before you leave the house. That should be without saying. Chase your purpose. Chase who you are, who the best of you are. Watch how you just you just wake up to messages. Your phone ring. What number is this? Hello? Yeah, who's this? People seek you out. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. Now, that's just my little piece on my part. What I've noticed is I don't chase no bag. And when I was saying about that last part, me losing my job, the example that I'm giving to that is I don't get up here asking y'all for nothing. I don't post no cash apps. I've never had a GoFundMe. I got a whole 5.5 bedroom house to take care of. I ain't never asked y'all for nothing. I'm saying that to say, because I continuously chase my purpose, even when I was at my worst point, I'm taken care of. I have not been without. My fridge is not empty. All cylinders are working in this home. Hot water, heat, AC, you name it. Of course, electricity. I'm on here. Everything. And I still have extra money to spend for whatever it is that I would like to do extra, to go have fun. I don't have just the bare minimum. That's because I continuously chase my purpose. And you know what God says? Here you go. I got you. I'm right here. I don't never go without. You know, it's like how they say with birds to land it. So I want to make sure y'all really get this. I want to drill this into your minds this morning. You know, birds don't stock up. You know, like squirrels, they don't stock up anything. Birds wake up. Birds do not have any leftover supply of anything. But never one day does a bird go without eating, even in the winter. They don't stock anything. They never know that next day where their meal's going to come from, but they know they're going to eat. Not only do they eat, they always have plenty to bring back for the babies. And they don't stock a thing. You want to know why? Because that bird gets up every day and does its purpose. Thus, it's taken care of. It does what it's supposed to do naturally. Now, I know that was an example. I'm not trying to say we birds, but it's an analogy if you can get it. Chase who you are. And I promise you, the bag, the women, clout, if that's whatever it is, all of that's going to chase you. But watch this. When you chase yourself, when all of those things come along, you're better equipped to handle it so you don't fumble that bag.
One of the worst things in the world is to hear parents say, oh, I'm about to have a grandbaby, like I said earlier, knowing that their kid is not prepared to raise a child. It's the deepest thing, but most men and women say it. Oh, we're having a baby, knowing your kid don't have no money to raise a damn baby. And they push that agenda. I ain't got time for it. So it's good to have this type of show. Hopefully, if we get one person out of the hundreds of thousands that's going to be watching this, we got them. We got somebody listening.
I think that people love being the exception or even bringing up the exception. Whenever we talk, we're always talking generalities. Mm-hmm. Somebody gonna always say, well, I got a friend. No one cares.
Exactly. When we're having discussions like this as well, and I'm glad she said that just briefly, and I'm gonna let it play. Yo, it's not always about you. It's a whole planet of people out here. And there are far more people who aren't you than are. Why? Because there's only one you, or at least it should be. Of course. Let's go.
Cares about your fucking friend. We're talking about like 70% of the population. We're talking about most people. I don't know why people.
Thank you. Generally speaking means not you. That means not you. And that's one thing I've noticed when it comes to even having discussions a lot of times. You know how it gets lost and you know how it usually turns and goes left. Folks don't know how to take themselves out of what you're saying. You'll be given just an example of something somehow or another while you're talking. It's like Bobby's World for them, if you're old enough. And then they like on a tricycle and they're rolling around in this fantasy dream while you're talking, and somehow or another they're the main star in what you're saying. OT, you probably are talking to them about it because you're like, I actually see you as the polar opposite. No, I actually no, I wasn't even thinking of you. I thought that I could speak to you because I thought we were both the ones above that. I was talking about the ones that's beneath us. How did you go down there with them? And so then the discussion goes left because you just didn't know how to take yourself out of the circumstance. It's a general statement being made because just like how she said, 70% of people means that there's more people than just me and you here on planet Earth. It's not just us here. Especially if we're having discussions like this. Look, right now, I'm here. Ain't nobody here but me, my plants, the fish, and the cat. There's no one here but me. But guess what? Outside of this screen, projected out, it's a whole audience of people that's listening and will listen. It's not just one of you that's hearing me speak right now. So to think like this entire life, like you, unless I say your name, you, no. Other than that, we're just doing this in a very much so, let's have the discussion. And I'm saying that periodically, like period, for these spaces. I would hear somebody on the panel speaking, somebody else would be on the panel with them. And it's like, I hear a lot. Sometimes people do the sneak diss and indirect. I do peep that as well. We do know when that's taking place. But what I'm speaking of more than anything is a lot of people don't know how to remove themselves from a person giving their personal thoughts. It's like you have to intrude that person's mind. Like, let me hop up in here. And it's like, no, don't. This is a one-seater. It's not enough room. It's like me trying to sit on the lap of a jet pilot. Yo, it's one seat. Yo, it's just enough for that in that cockpit. It's just enough for one. No, two people not about to sit. We're not about to pile 2-3 people up in this cockpit. It's enough just for one. We will crash. Get out of my cockpit. Get out of my head. Let me give you what I have in my mind. We have to remember to keep that in mind. That's very important. Because when we associate ourselves in everything a person says, you know what happens? We really dismiss what it is that person was trying to advocate and get across in the first place. So now, really, subsequently, that's being dismissive because you're not even taking into consideration that person is just speaking their mind. But if you're always geared towards something has to be about you, not only is that very vain, it's very vain. No, the song is probably not about you. You see? But I also know that has a lot to do with a person's conscience as well. It's a lot of things I hear, like when I hear, real quick to land it, when I hear, like, for example, women, they talk about nothing ass dudes, these angry red pill men and all of that, whatever. I don't flinch. And people have seen me on panels and everything. I'm never one of the dudes that bust, hold on, but wait a minute. But what if that's you putting yourself in it? Did the person even address you? Did they say your name? Hey, hey, put me in the box with this person. I want to talk to you. Hey, I want to address what you said. Yo, if I hear people talking about heroin addicts and all of that and cokeheads and car thieves and folks who out gangbanging, I don't flinch. If I hear people talking about men who don't take care of their kids, I don't flinch. I'm totally removed from that. I don't have any feelings towards it because I know that's not me. I don't care. I don't get all up in arms when I hear women talk this or that about, I don't care. Because I know the man that I am. Because I know myself. So when I hear these things, I don't flinch. It don't mean nothing. because I removed myself from that. I know that they're just speaking on what it is their experience is, and I will not be dismissive of that person's experiences. Let's keep going.
People always want to conflate exceptions with, you know, with rules.
Exactly.
And there's always going to be an exception. There's always going to be somebody who's above average. There's always going to be somebody who isn't doing the exact same thing that the rest of us average folks are doing. And I'm saying average because the majority of people are average, you know, and
watch this. Normal. What is normal? Normal is just simply what the average and or majority do. Normal people chew their food, then intake the food, right? Most people don't just like take a bite of a burger and just like a snake, right? So it's normal to chew food. That's normal because most people chew their food. So we can't be going around here having the analogy of the one person who takes bites of subs and just, you know, don't even chew, and it's like a golf, I mean, you know, a 8-ball going down them. No, we can't do that.
I think that the problem is that people don't want to be average.
Yep.
People don't want to deal with failure. People don't want to be like, you know what? I tried to be a such and such. It didn't work. And so, you know what? Let me change course. Let me figure out something else I'm good at.
There's nothing wrong with changing.
But a lot of us just want to stick to the bullshit and just keep bumping our head.
Yeah, you gotta know how to switch up.
Yep.
I mean, especially if it depends on your livelihood. You can't be
and I promise you, me nodding my head, that message is for me as well. A lot of times when I'm up here talking, I'm talking to myself. Y'all just so happen to be present while I'm doing some crazy shit. I'm talking to me.
47 making beats and ain't nobody buying them.
Right. That's true.
I just, you know, I mean, no offense to Lonnie's friend, but like, I mean, like, if the dude in the Bronx, you know, down the street from the Golden Crust, ain't buying your beats and he just a little local rapper.
I gotta make this clear too. And when I say, I want you to hear the key words too, because people like to flip. I'm talking to myself, not about myself. These stories don't always got nothing to do with my life. Sometimes it might be something that relates. And when it does, I make it clear it relates. But I'm talking to me, as in the messages that I give to you all. I make sure I take heed to those messages as well. I make sure that I adhere to it to the best of my ability. I can't be out here spewing stuff to y'all that I don't live and walk myself. You know what that would make me? The number one thing that I fear the most of leaving planet Earth as. That's called a hypocrite. I'm so big on my reputation of who I am as a person and how I present myself because I fear the most leaving here being a hypocrite. I don't want to be that at all because I can't stand them. Why do I want to be something I can't stand? I hate hypocrites. I hate them. I hate them with all my passion and all my heart. Why would I want to be that? And I never want to be viewed as that as well. Let's keep going.
Like, Kanye not buying them either, or Jay-Z or Lil Durk or whoever. You know, none of these people are buying them. Like, it's okay to do something different, you know? But I also think that we have a hard time accepting defeat. It's hard to be rejected. It hurts your feelings, period, by a person.
Yeah, women can't deal with it. I know most men and women can't deal with rejection. Years ago, you would think a man could, but now you ladies just say the wrong thing to a guy. If it's no, you can get stabbed. That's crazy.
See, I don't like those narratives being put out, like, because the fact is, now remember, the woman just talked about we can't make here and there's, I guess, whatever, the rule of thumb, like the rule of exception. We just literally got off of that, you know. So I mean, shout out to the brother TK, you know what I'm saying? But like, I hate when we I hate that being put out there. Everybody and their mama knows. No matter how much is said, most men will get up and run to a woman's aid before we try to throw a brick at her any day. We don't have to know you. Now, I'm not talking about like life or death circumstances. That's different. Some people may be safe, just pull their phone out. Look, that may not be equipped to come over there on some movie scene transporter stuff and disarm the gun. It doesn't go off. No one gets hurt. He gets to look you in your eyes and be like, "You okay, ma'am?" Like, it's like most dudes, they're not equipped to do that. Like, somebody's going to get hurt and shot, right? But like most dudes, like whether it's holding the door, you having something heavy, all of this type of stuff, whatever it may be, heck, even just like arguing, most people, they gonna stop and look. Most people gonna make sure that you okay. Most people not just gonna walk by you. And I don't like that narrative being put out there, because it pumps fear into us as people. Because you know what? I'm not a woman, but I'm a father of a daughter. I don't want to hear that message knowing that my beautiful 16-year-old is out there in the world and getting older and more beautiful as she grows. I don't want to know that. Not saying don't want to know that as far as to keep me from the truth, but like I don't want that pumped into my head. Now when she leave out, I can't even chill because I got all of the worst thoughts going through my mind. That's not how you want to live this life.
That a man would be that upset to stab you or even try to come shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know some women don't like to be judged. I used to go to strip clubs, not a lot. Probably been to maybe 5 strip clubs in my whole lifetime. And it's one of the greatest feelings in the world, not because of the dancing. It's because the women come up and ask, can you have a dance? And you can really give them attitude. Would you like a dance? No, thank you. Talking to your friend, another girl. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Then still.
You serious?
Talking to your friend, another guy. I was like, hey. I said I didn't want to know that. Yo, they fucking slapped me. You know, it's like reverse psychology now, because now I don't need you. I'm just here for the chicken wings and the drink. Hilarious. I did that once, and that's how come I remember that. You know, I was just giving them such a hard time
On purpose?
Yeah, because I'm the way I think, I don't believe I should make my money.
I hate his goatee. I don't know why I had to say that. I can't stand that shit on his face. It just looks out of place. It looks like it's not done. Like they was rushing to get him out there, and it was like 5 seconds to show. And like he went out there, and originally he still had the apron on around him and shit. They had to take that off before they push play.
And then trick it off on you if I don't know you.
I mean, you're buying something.
No, I'm not doing that. No way. Mm-mm.
I mean, they have. I'm just saying it's a service.
I've been getting asked my whole life. I've been fucking since I was 11. So for a woman to have a fat ass, I've had a bad bitch breathing on me since I was about 12, 13 years old. At the Dairy Queen stand, at the Good Humor, all that shit.
Y'all got Dairy Queen here?
I'm not from here, but we used to have Dairy Queen. Yes, we still got Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's all over the country.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we got Dairy Queen, Cold Stone, Baskin Robbins. Yeah, we got all that. Good Humor on the ice cream trucks.
New Jersey, yes, we have.
Oh, I thought you were from Jersey though.
I'm from Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I left years ago. I left probably before you was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I left in 1979.
Okay.
Yeah, what year was you born?
We don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, you wasn't born.
That's for people to.
I don't know why you ladies don't like saying your age. Let me tell you why you should say your age. You should only not say your age if you look fucked up. But if you look good, you took care of yourself.
I was just about to say that too.
You should tell people your age to inspire other people.
Absolutely, because I was going to say, at least for my sisters, like we always the ones that, a lot of people tell me I don't look 42. I'm told that a lot. I don't necessarily look like I'm 42. Do I look like I'm older? Yeah, of course. Because of how I dress maybe and things, but still youthful in a lot of ways. And that is something that's why I don't mind saying it, because it feels good. It's a lot of times I do tell people my age and they might be like, oh, I didn't know you was that, I don't have gray everywhere, still jet black, still full head of hair, still energetic. I feel good at 42. Let's go.
Because would you rather die today and you not get older?
No, there's only one option.
Yes, take care of you. So my point is, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Tell other people your age so they could compliment you. Go, oh my God, you don't look your age. That's a good feeling.
Right.
Well, most people, when I do tell them my age, they absolutely don't believe.
Yeah, I'm 109, but I look 60. I look 62.
What's his name? Like Joe? Hey, it's like one of my favorite movies. From Coming to America, when he was saying how old. I'm sorry. Okay, no one's getting the joke.
He was 100.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm an old head, but I take care. I believe in taking care of myself. Like, we're gonna do this 2 minutes. I'm going to bed.
I'm for that.
Yeah, I'm tired. I've been up since early this morning, all the way in New York City. I was trying to holler at Trump.
That boy was clank this morning.
Trying to have a conversation with him. I really want to tell him, don't be talking shit about the judge. Because he been talking shit about the judge and the prosecutor. That's a dumb dude to even do that.
Put a gag, not a gag order, but like
I hope they did put a gag order.
Stern warning was given to him, is what I read.
Okay.
About that. It may end up being a gag order.
Yeah, if that judge didn't give him a gag order, Trump still has power, because that's the kind of man you're supposed to shut up.
Right.
I want to see him. I want the gag order to see Trump say "fuck it" so they can lock his ass up. That's what I want to see. I would love to see Trump go to jail for about 20, 30 days.
Even if that was the case, he wouldn't not listen. As a president, he would not listen. He would actually have to do like some like wars against crime type. I mean, some like crimes against war type stuff or something. Like, there's nothing that man's gonna do for the most part that's just gonna have. It's just not. It's not. And even if he was to get sentenced to something, they're gonna have him on a Martha Stewart like sentence. That man gonna be on some kind of house arrest and some secret. He's gonna have everything still at his disposal. Because see, prison is basically supposed to remove you from the luxuries of life. That man's still gonna have access to whatever he wants to eat, drink. He want his McDonald's, whatever. He's gonna get all of this. So it's not. Look, people, that's just not gonna happen. I know folks want that to happen, but it's really not. And that's just me speaking from a logical, objective headspace. It's just something not gonna take place. Right? So let's keep on listening to this. This topic that we're talking about today is it worth it being a stepdad? So let's fast forward a little bit, see if we get back to the topic.
We prosecute, their former governors and
person. Matter of fact, that was a tab. That's what she charged me. So now I'm gonna run and be president of the United States and make America great again. He got in this motherfucker.
And I thank you all for tuning in. The time right now is 6:34 a.m. East Coast Standard Time. Much respect to you all. This is your morning cup of tea and or coffee, caffeinated or decaf, whichever you prefer. Let's go.
Like I said, fuck everybody. And boom, here he is. He's gonna reap what he sow, as they say.
Speaking of cheating, what do you think of the what's his name? I think it's Ime Udoka.
Oh, yeah, that's embarrassing. Because you go all the way back to Power, when Ghost was the man. He had the biggest connect in the country. He got to the presidential suite of his house and opened up a club against him and Tommy's understanding. So a girl he ain't fucked since high school and lost it all.
Yeah.
He lost it all over some ad. And it's just so many. And the gentleman from Boston.
I never understand that. Never understood it. You know, that's why I've always studied like gamblers. I've always liked to study like the whole concept of greed, because I've never been able to wrap my mind around it. I've always been one that's like, yo, I'm good with I'm content, I'm straight. Like, nah, I'm all right. And that does not mean continue to elevate and grow. No, it's just, you know, it's like the saying that goes, the one who least needs tomorrow is the one who will most likely greet it. What does that mean? I'll break it down. When you are able to appreciate what you have right now, when you do get more, it's such an extra. Like right now, I love my home. I customized this place to suit and fit my needs. I have whatever type of entertainment here that I need, from access to movies on a big screen, video games, golf, dart, basketball, reading, lounge area, bar. I designed my home to where I want it to be something that I like to be in. I'm saying that to say, when you actually make things how it should be for you, that's really how you stay in peace. So it's like, if I was to get anything else extra, I mean, honestly, like, I mean, I would be really ecstatic about it, but I'm already ecstatic, is my point. Like, I'm already happy about what I have. I love what I have. I got everything I need around me. Again, I don't want for nothing. That's why I like to give to y'all. Period. I don't want for nothing. So let's go. Now, are there struggles? Are there expenses? Absolutely. Now, don't get it twisted, but I mean, overall, I definitely, when I do get rest, I wake up in peace. I'm thankful. And when I do need to get some rest, I'm able to do it peacefully. And that's the biggest point.
You know, they always say as you grow up, you don't shit where you sleep. Mm-hmm. So here he is, one of the greatest opportunities of a lifetime. Coach of the Boston Celtics, and they was winning. Wasn't like they wasn't winning, they was winning. Then you had Nia Long that you embarrassed her and your son. And to any man that goes through any kind of pain, I truly hope that you get through, but it's gonna hurt him for a while. It's gonna hurt him for a while. Because I didn't even know he got fired until like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, wasn't it kind of recent that he got?
Yeah, because they let him go, but they were saying he was gonna come back next year, and I stopped following him. Mm-hmm. And when I saw that coach had that team winning, I said, "Oh shit, that dude might lose his job next year." Right. And when I found out he was fired already, I was like, "Wow."
Mm. And it was actually the manner in which he did it too.
Yeah. You fucking, I don't know just that one, but he fucking everybody at the job. Like, dog. That's crazy. Like the dude on the morning show with the girl.
Oh, TJ.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Please keep this in mind. All right. Whoever you are, and if you just so happen to may struggle with that, I always want you to remember this, okay? When one lives in accordance to man, you'll never be rich. And when one stays in accordance to nature, you'll never be poor. Stop transgressing boundaries. You should be just fine if you don't.
Yeah, come on, yo, y'all tripping.
They need to sign up for your class.
Yeah. I believe, this is one thing I do believe, you don't fuck up the bag. You don't do it. You do not do it.
Well, why do you think so many people end up doing it, even though they know it's not advisable?
They don't know who they are. If you know who you are, you know what, I'm a cheater.
I don't know. Has anybody ever heard me talk about knowing who you are? First of all, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know he was gonna say. I usually don't watch the whole thing. I watch a piece of it, then I play it. I didn't know he was gonna say that. Not to mention, a lot of people also do it because probably they've gotten away with it. You know, you ever heard somebody just come out and say something? I don't know whether it's maybe something racist, whatever, and you could tell how strong it was said. You like, oh yeah, you used to saying that. You used to getting away with saying that. People, it's also a comfortability too. People are probably, you know, that person probably was accustomed to cheating and being forgiven. You know, like they be, you know, probably forgave him. You know, and they was able to keep the relationship going. These all of these things are factors as to in addition to what the sister's saying. Let's keep on going.
I can't be messing up nobody else's life. I'm gonna stay by myself. Fuck, have a good time, and then when I think I'm ready to settle
I see what you
down,
mean. Okay.
I'll do that. But to get married and then I got the co-host coming to you because that's my show. You coming to the house, you know, you got your husband, y'all all we in the living room kicking and drinking. Y'all by the pool, act like I go to the bathroom. She in the girls' bathroom. I tiptoe in, bend over, fucking real good. We go back out by the pool, and your husband and my wife. This shit is crazy. But this shit sound exciting to me. I like that type of shit.
What, the thrill?
Yeah, the thrill. That's just me. But I wouldn't do certain things now because the way I move in life, I don't want
Are
to
you
risk
serious
anything.
right now, bro?
How do you think that? And the thing is, a lot of people do dumb shit because they don't understand the risk involved. They don't.
They do understand.
You think so?
Oh yes, they do. Because I was one of them. You think about the consequences afterwards until you get into so much trouble and you realize, man, you got to stop this shit. But what happens in life? Some people never get a chance to stop it. They either put them in jail or dead. Or broke. Yeah.
Yep.
Consequences. Do it.
Or continuously, you know what's just as horrible as prison itself in life? Placing yourself in a state of purgatory as far as continuously starting from the drawing board, always starting over. And I believe that always starting over is what really, I mean, at least it should push you to finally want to stop that cycle. You having enough of you being sick and tired of you, right? And then it starts with the work on the inside. Let's go.
But anyway,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, because I'm thinking, we'll go back to somebody cheating on their spouse. You know, you have a home with your spouse and your kids,
but that's when is really the best time to cheat.
When is that?
When you got a wife and kids at home.
Okay, break it down.
It's just something about cheating that you know you got a family at home. It does something for you.
Does it heighten the thrill? Is that what it is?
I don't know if it heightens the thrill. It just does something to you. When you got a woman and you ain't got another woman, it's not the same. But when you got a woman and you got this other woman here, even your fuck game is a little better, I think. You stroke, you get a couple more strokes.
Is it?
Yeah, I just think that you come home more happy. You start getting, you go on more trips.
So, okay, if we go down that path using that logic, that means that women should step out so they can be a little happier and be happier in the home, right?
I don't think you understand what you just said. Most women have been stepping out for years. That's why a lot of men are not the father of the babies. That when they go.
Hold on, y'all. There we go. So the whole concept of being a stepfather, this is what I'm going to say to that. Again, my whole thing that I will always speak about when it comes to relationships is this: figure out what works for you, what dynamic you want set up. Now, how do you know that? I'll wait, because I know you know what my answer to that is. Know yourself. You know what you want when you know yourself. Simple. Very, very simple. Nothing long and drawn out. Know yourself. You know what you want. You know what you don't want. I know me, so I know I don't want to be with a woman that has multiple, numerous kids. And it's not a diss. It's not none of that. It's just, that's a standard that I hold, because it's not fair to me, those kids, as well as my child. It's not fair to that woman and that dynamic. It's going to be too much of me that has to be spread. And at my age, I don't have that much to be spread. And I have enough for you, my child, and whatever dynamic you got going on of a small nucleus, and we can work it from there. You see, that's the way I think. That's just always been. Anybody, I would tell anybody knows that about me. Long before this YouTube stuff or anything. It's not nothing to do with no talking points or anything. This has been Smitty since y'all didn't know me. I've only been here 2 years. It's a whole 40-something years you all had no clue I exist. Let's remember that part. And the same thing with you all. I've only been here 2 years. It's a whole however many years you've been here. I didn't know you existed as well. So the one thing that I would have to do is make sure that I learn who you are. Same thing with me. Just, take time, sit back. If you're interested, learn who I am. And the one thing that you will consistently see is that I am consistent in being consistent. I'm always going to be me. Sometimes we have our days where it's a little more up, a little more down, but I'm never going to get up here and not be me, not be myself, because when I click up off of here, I'm still remaining myself. I'm exactly who I am off this camera. That's exactly who you see me to be right now today. And when everybody comes into the dynamic and the situation of what we like to call relationships, if you're being yourself completely, right? Not the mask. Don't be the open book from the middle, but don't come into the circumstance with a mask on either. Come in there with your face bright, shining, and clear. Let the person see who you are. And then from there, you give them pieces of who you are as you go along. Ease your way into it. Love is like, think about it like the flowers that we give our women, right? Those flowers take time to grow. They take time to grow. They don't grow overnight. They may have some stuff that can speed the process, whatever, but some flowers you can't get until you have to wait a couple seasons to go by. You may have to wait for fall and winter and spring just for summer to hit, or vice versa. And when they come up, they're only there for a little short time. So that also was a representation that when that opportunity of window of love, I guess, or opportunity of companionship is available, take advantage of that opportunity in the best way. You see? And so that's what it is that I basically have for us this morning. I definitely appreciate everybody. I'm going to make sure I get myself together so I'm not rushing out the door. All right. Got to be at work in a bit. We're going to be back tonight. All right. I'll make sure to see you guys tonight. And I always want to make sure that you know this as well, too. I don't know why. I had this thought that came into my mind. I want to make sure that this is out into the ether. And what that thought is that if God told the angels, do not interfere when it comes to us and our affairs, then it's not for me to interfere as well with the affairs of people. This is all a part of growth. You all already know it's always much love, always much respect. Let's get on up out of here the right way. And let's ease our way into the day. Respect to you all.
Siri